we'll come back around at the end here. I want to get to what I want to cover today. So Esteban here is one of our board members, and he has got a particular niche that I wanted him to share with you guys on that he's actually really good at, and that is how he is running Facebook ads, PPC, et cetera, to drive traffic very specifically to create off-market opportunities, and even on the other side on cash buyers. And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, right? This is kind of this unknown. This is very, this seems like highly technical, magical, voodoo bullshit. And I can tell you, I've been doing this a long time. 95% of people, they fall into two categories. Either one, they don't do it because it seems way over their head, or they don't want to slow down and they don't appreciate how powerful it is. Or number two, if they do it, they end up throwing money into some rinky-dink agency because they don't know any better that just does it very, very poorly. And I think if you're going to do this, it's a tremendous opportunity, number one. And I think that with the right tools and the right strategies that everybody should be implementing and doing this at some level to create more opportunity for yourself. Again, like most marketing strategies in the real estate investment space, you only have to be right once for this to be a gold mine for you. But equally, it's really challenging to manage expectations with whether it's an agency or somebody in your office doing this or whatever it looks like. It's very challenging to manage expectations if you don't know what you should expect. And so you have to have some at least working knowledge of this. And so today I want to talk about, I want to give Esteban the floor, let him kind of talk to you a little bit about what he's learned over the years doing this and how he does this inside of his own business. Again, Esteban is a board member. I'll let him kind of tell you a little bit more about himself, but pay close attention, take some notes, do all that kind of good stuff. And let's, Esteban, you ready to rock, brother? Unmute yourself. And I'm going to hand it over where you can share screen.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
And I'm going to pin you to the screen here. Okay. You should be good to go.
All right. Thank you, Kent, for giving me this opportunity. Honestly, it's something that a lot of people are missing out, especially when they are already doing deals and they want to scale. One of my biggest things was when I started doing outbound marketing for my own company. I scaled to past the point, but then my coach kept telling me, hey, you need to do online marketing. You need to run ads. That's going to give you a linear growth because now you're going to be able to reach other people that you haven't been able to reach, and at the same time become omnipresent. So touch many things. I'm going to share here a screen so that we go over the presentation. So, all right. So Kent also told me to formulate this based on frameworks. So I'm going to try to be as concise as possible and as valuable as possible. Take about 20-25 minutes. And then the rest will be questions for you guys to ultimately ask me anything you guys want. We can also go through different campaigns, examples of different campaigns, and so on. I'll be very, very open to do it. So let's go over this. So I'm a boardroom member, and I own an agency that does exactly this, and a recruiting agency that we get candidates doing Facebook ads and other different ads like LinkedIn ads, Indeed ads. And this is vastly used for people that want to scale past that 5 deals mark per month and so on, to start using online marketing, PPC, Facebook ads. So we specialize on REI. So I'm going to teach you guys today how to succeed running online marketing campaigns, and I will help you avoid mistakes. And most of the times it also comes down to the expectations, like Kent actually talked about, because a lot of people come in very excited about hotter leads, online leads, inbound leads, but they don't know the nuances that happens while generating the leads and after the lead is generated. So we're going to cover that. And what makes this credible is we've been running it for 3.5 years. Our clients have reported to us 25 mil plus an assignment fees from online marketing, that's Facebook and Google combined. We run candidate advertising, and we acquire ourselves 85% of clients from online marketing. I want to ask you guys, when you guys joined Boardroom, did you guys get any influence from any of Kent or Boardroom ads? If you guys did, saw his ads and kind of like got into his funnel and then had some chat with Kent team and everything, drop a number 1 in the chat. I'd like to know if you guys have seen Kent's ads and so on Facebook or Instagram and so on, and it gave you some sort of influence in order to make the decision to join. Right. So Kent has become omnipresent as well, has been running ads to generate a lot of his business, and that's why we're gonna use it to attract good sellers doing Facebook and Instagram ads and PPC. Who here is actually running Facebook ads and PPC ads or NER? Present number 2. I just want to know. I want to be able to engage with you guys. So give me number 2. All right, Mike. Awesome. So we're gonna go over how to structure good seller ads for Facebook, Instagram, and PPC, and how to structure winning ad campaigns. Also, what not to do. So common pitfalls doing online marketing, and how we can avoid it, how we can have better expectations, and ultimately how to succeed doing that. All right. So let's go over the first frameworks on how to attract sellers using Facebook advertising. So Facebook advertising, it's going to also be Instagram advertising. And I'm going to go over a few different examples, and I'm going to teach you how to essentially explore and reverse engineer different advertisers out there in order for you to see different advertisers, the people that actually have really great ads and so on. So the number 1 thing that a lot of people miss out on is that you don't know how to probably run Facebook ads because you don't really know who your real target audience is. So establishing your target audience, which means that, hey, look, our guys, our sellers are people that are probably older. They're going through some sort of situation, distress situation, but they could also be motivated for different reasons. That doesn't mean distress. So how do we tailor a specific message on Facebook and Instagram that actually attracts those type of people? One of the few things that we need to know is that also Facebook has people that are just starting to get motivated, and they're in the initial stages of getting motivated about the certain situation. They're falling into pre-foreclosure, not paying the rent, having to deal with this inherited property. So there are very initial stages of motivation. And then we also have the people that are very, very motivated. They're in a distress situation. So how do we talk with those specific people and attract those specific people? So we need to know our target audience very well. This is done by doing an excellent job at doing ad copy. And ultimately, number 2, we gotta create stupid great offers. So the number 2 here is that you have to understand that Facebook and Instagram, it's kind of, you have a nozzle and you put a lot of water through that nozzle, and you end up blasting as many people as possible in your target audience. So for example, if you're targeting, which in this case housing category makes you target from 18 to 65 plus, but it's a specific county, how do we make sure that we get the attention from homeowners that, for example, have gone through different inconvenient situations, or they have a house that needs a lot of repairs, or they are going through pre-foreclosure, they have been inherited a home that don't know what to do, or they're tired landlords. So we need to ensure that even though that these people are gonna be there, they get attracted to a specific offer. And this is what most people actually miss out on, because everyone is putting direct offers such as We Buy Houses, such as Sell Your House Fast, and those are great offers, but the problem is that those offers is already way too coagulated out there on Facebook that it makes no difference whenever people are actually scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed or the Instagram newsfeed. And you have to be able to make your offer now better, especially because now sellers are becoming more sophisticated. They understand that they're getting cold called, and also there's so many advertisers out there that are wholesalers as well. So a stupid great offer would be something like, if you can do, for instance, something that can teach us inside of the boardroom or inside of his lessons, is how to structure creative deals, how to structure novations. So that means that we have other ways to fulfill to our clients, which means that we have other ways to structure our offers. So now we are attracting people that not only are going to see this as a different approach, but also they are our audience that we can actually make money from. So for instance, if you create an offer where you can buy a house and offer them close to top dollar or full price, but so happens that full price and top dollar is something that you and the seller agree on the actual phone call, then now you have a different offer than just we buy houses cash, or than just, hey, sell your house fast, or so on, which everyone actually promises. So we got to be able to create different type of offers, such as those. I'm going to show you a few examples of offers that will attract people. Ultimately, sellers want the best value out there and the best offer possible because they want conveniency and they want speed. All right. The third one is attention-grabbing creatives. I'm going to show you a few creatives. We're going to explore a few of the campaigns. So attention-grabbing creatives is creatives that whenever you go on Facebook or Instagram, you know that you're going about your day, kind of either checking on your neighbor or on your friends, or checking the next story. So the same behavior sellers or homeowners have, so we need to be able to interrupt them properly. These attention-grabbing creatives are usually going to be homes that specifically are going to talk directly to them. Such as there's a concept that Frank Kern actually has, which Frank Kern is actually one of the few mentors that I started with, the dog whistle concept, where if we have a creative that grabs the attention of the right individual that we have, and no one else sees this, but only our target audience sees it, now we're applying the concept of the dog whistle concept, which means that only dogs will essentially listen and see this specific whistle because we're talking directly to them. So that's going to be creative, such as houses that look really, really bad, or houses that at the end of, like whenever you put them into the creative, are going to pop and is going to make them stop, where we're going to interrupt and disrupt whatever it is that they're doing on their newsfeed. All right, we're going to go over a few examples. The fourth thing is that we have to have a very strong call to action. So when we know our great offers, when we can offer something really good, when we can actually acquire property through different methods, not just getting stuck at wholesaling, then we can create a call to action that ultimately will allow people to actually click on the link and go through the next part of the funnel, which would be some sort of landing page or some sort of form that is within Facebook. So this could be get a cash or get a fast top dollar offer, or click on the learn more button below to receive a full price offer, or click on the button below to receive a top dollar cash offer, things like that, where we create like a great sense of urgency, or telling them exactly, we guide them exactly where to go and what to do. The fifth thing is going to be a direct copy and potentially a lead magnet. So direct copy is, look, there's so many ways to actually do ads, and there's so many ways to actually create an ad copy that is compelling. But for motivated sellers, what I've learned over the last 3.5 years, is that you have to be very obvious in what you're saying. You can't just, I have tested this on telling stories, and you sell through stories. But the more direct that we are, the more obvious that we make it for these homeowners to see what we are actually trying to do, the better results that we're gonna actually get, and the more we're gonna speak towards them. So I can walk you guys through a specific framework, but basically it's like this. So we know who our audience is, we know what they want, and we know how do they get what they want. So when we know that, we know who to call out, what their pain points are, and what are the benefits and are the opportunity that we can provide them, and create a specific ad copy that talks about, for example, hey, we have helped homeowners in the past get out of a pre-foreclosure or a probate situation that they couldn't get help from, but when they met us, we were able to buy their house for cash. So that is a very direct copy, and then you go ahead and start telling them, and these are the few things that we actually can do, or these are the few type of situations that we can help you with. Tons of repairs in the house. You have an inherited home that you don't wanna deal with. Your landlord landlording is being too difficult and can't deal with tenants, or different type of pain points that we actually can put it in bullet points in order to make it very direct. All right. The lead magnet, usually it could be like, you can always create a report, but what we saw that works the best ultimately would be just submit your information in order to receive an offer within minutes, or an offer within 24 hours, or submit your information to get your home sold in less than 7 days. So now we're telling them, hey, look, this is exactly how we can help you. If you do this, then you will receive an offer within minutes, which is true if you have a great follow-up, speed to lead, and skills in order to go through a sales process and a conversation where you can potentially give them an offer after you've had a conversation with this individual, right? The sixth thing would be an easy, fast, optimized landing pages. And this also applies to Google PPC, but you have to be able to have landing pages. And I like to model, for example, the $1 billion home buyers, so iBuyers, such as Open Door, OfferPad, because they have already been battling, testing this online lead generation game. One of the biggest things that I do is that I actually mimic or learn from the people that have done this really, really well. And Open Door, OfferPad, and Zillow Offers have one of the best marketing team in order to go through different types of iterations. So it's really fast to open. It doesn't have too many distractions, and is straight to action, which means that it allows the homeowners that go inside that landing page to take action real quick. And this number 7 is going to be building retargeting campaigns. So, for example, I just wanna ask you guys, and I wanna make this a little bit engaging. Present number 1, if you guys have ever, I don't know, even before getting into Kent's program, if you were on the fence on buying something or just talking about that with someone else, and you receive an advertising on Facebook or on Instagram, and you kind of tell yourself, wow, like these guys are actually listening to me. Or maybe you open an email, and then ultimately after that email you go inside of social media and there's an ad right in there. So who has had that experience? If you had that experience, present number 1, where you feel like your phone is just like giving you exactly what you've been thinking of, or exactly what you want, or like all the time, right? So if we build retargeting campaigns, it actually learns our behavior. Well, they know our behavior already, and we can utilize our behavior in order to actually build these campaigns and retarget all the time, right? So that's going to be Facebook and Instagram. For PPC, these are a few things. This is the framework that we utilize in order to have a great attraction mechanism for sellers using PPC. Number 1 is you have to have a great keyword research. Good thing is that if you've done a lot of PPC or SEO in the past, this is basically getting to know your audience. Again, very, very well. What are they searching? What are the intentions that they have out there? There's different tools out there, even the Google Keyword Planner, that tells you how much search volume someone has had for a specific keyword. Let's just keep it as an example, super, super easy. Seller house fast, right? How many people have actually searched that key term and gone through that key term in Google or in Bing, for example, and how many people have done it, which means that it tells us what they actually want. So now we know our specific audience, what are they searching, all right? Now, if you do this, you can do it yourself and ultimately spend a long time, which you guys can do. But as a bonus, if you guys stay until the end, I'm gonna actually give you guys the exact keywords and the exact ad group. And I know that Ken didn't ask me to do this, but I'm just gonna give you guys exact keywords, exact ad group that we actually work with in order to start a campaign, so that you guys just don't have to do all that work, but you understand exactly what type of keyword or what type of ad group you guys have to do. Understanding an audience is very, very important. So number 2, we will create, and again, stupid great offers. With Google, because there's a difference between Facebook and Google, that Google is an intentional based platform where people have some sort of intention. Now they're typing online and they're actually putting keywords online. We don't have to do like such a huge job into like making our offers so different than others, because there is such a huge intention compared to Facebook and Instagram. But if you were to go to Google and do your own search, or put a search term such as a homeowner would do, in their experience, they will also see 4 ads, and the rest are going to be SEO in the key search, in the search engine, right? So if you differentiate yourself, if you want to differentiate yourself, and if you want to actually make people click on your offer, then you can also create stupid great offers. And I'm going to show you a few offers. The third thing is going to be a compelling ad copy. So this ad copy will be within the description before they actually make any type of decision on clicking on your ad, which ultimately, if they click, then that means that you're going to spend some money. Usually ranges a good cost per click is going to range from $32 to $39, $40 good cost per click. And that means that people are seeing your ad copy, your headline, all right? And you're gonna be able to drag them into your funnel to potentially make them submit the form, all right? And you can actually encourage them to do this exact same thing by adding not only a great offer, having a compelling ad copy, but also having ad extensions. So extra links or extra call tracking, where it's going to be either your phone number, where they prefer to actually text or call right away, or it's going to be an extension of maybe the most frequently asked questions of your company or testimonials, so that it actually takes way more real estate on the Google search. And I'm going to walk you guys through an example of what exactly that means. Ad extensions, where you're essentially making the most out of the real estate that you have on the Google search engine. And the next part is going to be a landing page that is optimized, so that as soon as we have them and there's an intention for them to click and search, that they don't get distracted. That the time that someone goes inside of your landing page, we actually capture them as fast as possible. We capture part of their information or the entire information, so there's not too much analysis paralysis inside of their brain. So we need to make their landing page so well done and so well structured, where they trust us fast, and they actually also have a way to submit their information real fast. There's not a lot of friction in there, but rather we can make that experience easier. All right. So here is the structure of a Facebook ad or Instagram ad. Here's one example, or actually 2 examples. There's way more I'm going to tell you guys about the Facebook advertising transparency library, where you can actually explore and do some ninja exploring on so many different ads out there. But you have to have an attention-grabbing headline. So there is a headline right here on red. An engaging ad copy. So an ad copy that gets them right there. The first 3 lines are going to be very important. And then after that, you're going to basically convince them that you are the right person. You have to have great disruptive visuals. So in this case, for example, we have it very bold, very direct. Facebook now allows to do this. Before they did not allow it to do it. So this is great because it allows us our creative and ad copy to actually be fusing together, to actually have a combination of great ad copy in your ad, and also combination of great creatives in your ad. So these are two high performing creatives on Facebook and Instagram. The direct call to action. So here we have a call to action, get offer, and we also have the headline, which is sell your property as is and get top dollar. So this specific client, for example, they know how to do creative financing, they know how to do innovations, and they know how to give cash offers, which means that now we're going to reset the frame of the offer right when we get into the phone call conversation. And there is social proof and credibility right in the landing page, or we actually also mention third-party stories on the ad copy itself. All right. So that's Facebook and Instagram. The structure of a PPC ad. So again, we're gonna have an attention-grabbing headline. We're gonna create a stupid great offer, compelling ad copy, a direct display URL. We're gonna go through a different example, add extensions, rotate, and test, which means that we're gonna be split testing these ads all the time. And I'll be happy to actually show you guys real quick on an ad account that I have open. So let's go over real quick here on a Google account. So this one is in Nashville, Tennessee, is an ad that actually recently started. So when we take a look at here at the campaign, we have a search ad campaign, and we also have a remarketing campaign. So these are all the ad groups that we actually have. I'm going to share with you all the ad groups, and then ultimately these ad groups, each one of the ad groups have different keywords that we're going to target our clients, with. And we have 3 different ways to target: exact, phrase match, and broad match. We like to do exact match and broad match exact match and phrase match at the very beginning. And then if we want more lead flow, then we will start with broad match as well. But as you can see here, we've had conversion rates of about 25, 33%, 17, 18% in total conversion, which is 5 conversions at $200 each. This is in Nashville, Tennessee. And we are seeing, for example, whenever we go to the ads, this is how the ads actually look like. So there is a dynamic ad where we have 15 different headlines that we actually test. So here is a headline right in here, and here is the different keywords that we're going to be using in order to get their attention, and different descriptions or ad copy that ultimately gets the attention and actually describe what the pain point of our clients are. Skip annoying house repairs, no fees, no hassle, no problems, turn your house pain into cash gain. And whenever you click inside of this ad, the way that you actually set it up, well, this is the landing page. This is one example, but let me just show you here. Whenever you set this up, the way that we do it and the best way that we have seen it is that we actually split test different headlines that actually work and have a great offer, also go towards our pain points. And we have them here because it's important to have different split testing and rotation of what's working or not. And whenever you go on the back, you're going to be able to turn off whatever does not work, but also Google will help us optimize and understand everything through the metrics. As you can see, here is a sponsored ad look, like how it looks like in terms of the call extension, which is going to be a phone number that is going to call. Whenever you call this phone number, which is specifically made for Google, you're going to be able to, sellers are going to be able to actually call this specific acquisition manager, and someone is going to follow through a sales process. But these are specific headlines that we utilize. For example, sell house fast, no fees or commissions, just be done with it, zero stress selling process, all fees paid, make no repairs. And these are descriptions that we actually put in here in order to make the headline or the offer more compelling. All right. So the way that this is actually seen in Google is something along these lines. So I believe that this was a ad group, companies that buys houses. So if you go to companies that buys houses, for example, and the keywords is companies that buys houses exactly right here, or company buys houses, then that means that sellers are actually doing that type of search in Google right in here. And there's going to be different type of other advertisers that are putting their name in here. So for example, Florida, we have Meridian Trust, My Reliable Home Buyer, Trusted Cash Offer Buyer, and some other SEO strong websites that have the exact same keyword that we actually use so that sellers can go there. And this is an example of a search extension, all right? Is it possible to target sellers with percentage of equity in their home with Facebook and Google Ads? So if it's possible to target sellers with a percentage of equity, look, it is possible. It's going to be just very difficult. The reason why is because I was talking about the nozzle, right? So you're actually going and putting so much ad spend and you're showing it to all these people. Guess what? Facebook and Google has policies against discrimination. So if you want to tell them, hey, if your property has a percentage of equity here, then I'm going to talk to you in the eyes of Facebook and the eyes of Google. That is discrimination in the housing category. So you have to be very careful on how you actually put the ad copy together, because Facebook can shut you down and Google can shut you down and restrict you forever. So that's why the category of housing, recruitment for employment, credit, and so on, it's very, very protected. Facebook got into a few shit, so you can't really be that specific. So that's why you have to be able to know how to handle the potential sellers that come in. So one of the few things I'm going to cover here is that the common pitfalls, and it kind of goes directly correlated to what you just said. So for example, I haven't shown a Facebook ad right here, but I'm going to show you real quick. So here is a Facebook ad. Here's an example in the city of Detroit. We have this ad running. For example, I'm going to show you guys here an ad that's running the last 7 days. So the city of Detroit is always cheap. There's a lot of distressed homes and motivated sellers in there, but I'm just going to show you an example. This one is specifically is $50, $22 on the ad level, but on the campaign level, it's $45 as a whole on average on the city of Detroit per lead. And this is a website lead. What people see is they see something like this, where it's your page or a page that we use. And this is where we actually, is it possible to them to answer questions via a bot or automated chat method to determine of percentage of equity without discrimination? So Rob actually just asked if we can use the chat bot, which by the way, Ken brought a speaker about the chat bot to figure out equity. The answer is yes, but again, you have to be very careful, because whenever you're asking questions to the seller and then you're asking the property address, there's ways that you can go back to a specific analytics or specific housing tools that will tell you what's the equity. But you can also ask them like questions like, hey, have you paid off this home? Yes or no? Okay, I have not paid off this home. All right, perfect. But so how much of, if you were to put a ballpark or number or percentage, how much have you paid out of the property based on whatever value the property is? So people can actually answer that, but post the lead is being generated. If you want to do it previously to the lead is being generated, it's going to be very tricky, and you'll need either a very high, huge technology in order to do it, or you have to jump the ropes, or you have to go, very careful on what Facebook and Google actually allow, because at the end of the day, they also will examine how your lead generation process is and your qualification process is. If we're asking this type of questions, it might be very risky, all right? I know that Google OfferPad and Open Door, they create a profile once the lead is generated, and they ask follow-up questions already when the lead is generated, which will also utilize technology to figure out a specific offer that they can actually give, but this offer is a range. But they use a specific technology in order to do that. So it's better to actually ask that once the lead is being generated and not go through the hassle of getting rejected or getting disabled by Facebook or Google. So this is how, for example, an ad looks like in the city of Detroit. This actually was just a straight picture that is disruptive, and both buyers and sellers could actually stop here and take a look at this. So we have different ways to target, ad copy in the picture or only the picture. So this is one example of how it is on Facebook. Let me go here. These are a few offers that we actually have tried during the recession times, and now that our clients, majority of our clients that are doing really, really well, they do novations, they do creative financing, they wholesale creative financing, and they also do wholesaling. They utilize these type of offers, and we use this type of headlines in order to attract people that want the best value possible, the most reliable, convenient, and fast way to sell their house, such as full price offers, instant solution for problem houses, sell full price, recession-proof house offers in seconds, sell full price guaranteed, and so on. So these are different offers in here. You guys can take a screenshot or there's a replay. And these are a few different retargeting ads, or even call-based ads that we actually use. Again, combination of ad copy in the creative or just disruptive ads as we go. You guys can go to the ads transparency page to actually explore more of these. And these are also ads that we actually use in order to attract, for example, lead managers or potential cold callers or so on from Latin America. So we use ads to also attract virtual assistants, candidates, and this is one example of an ad that we use where we need fluent English minimum. So we're telling them exactly who we want of 90%. Sales direct rep up to $2,000 a month. So we're telling them the offer right in there, and the compelling ad copy. So people, whenever they click on this and they see the first 3 lines, they're gonna know that it's directly, specifically to them, it's talking to them, which are English-based people. So this is one example. Apply now, work from home, earn USD. So what not to do running ads, common pitfalls. This is something that I really want to cover because it's important. So when you're running Facebook or ultimately Instagram, there's a few things that you want to avoid. And we were kind of talking about this. I just spoke a little bit about this to Puma, Rob Puma. There you go. And we want to avoid misleading or deceptive claims, or just misleading people that we can do something, but we really can't. So if you can't give close to full price because you haven't learned creative financing or novations, then don't offer it. If you only know wholesaling, stick within cash offers. All right. Now, if you can go through a sales process and offer creative financing, novations, and so on, then definitely you will differentiate yourself from the competition. Offer full price, offer top dollar, offer an offer on terms, or offer different bold claims, bold things, because you can actually fulfill to them. You just don't know if they fit the criteria. Another thing is that we can't neglect targeting, which means that if we know that we are ultimately targeting at housing category, we can't just be targeting the housing category and calling them, telling them, oh, you are actually in a serious situation, you are someone that is old, you are someone that has a specific percentage of equity. We can't target this way. We have to understand that we're in this housing category and we can't just skip it. So we need to work and mold towards this, both on Google and on Facebook, actually. And if something that you got to do is you got to understand that, hey, if you want a specific county, you can target by county, but you can't target by city. So you have to have a minimum 15-mile radius expectation because sometimes your cities, they have limitations, or they have let's say they're just a limit with a specific county or a specific state that you don't want. So you have to be able to learn how to target based on 15-mile radius or based on counties. If you don't want a specific city inside of a county, you probably have to put an effort into the 15-mile radius, but it's still gonna be very, very hard because Facebook has a specific targeting limitation. Overlook ad performance and tracking. So for example, one of the few things that people do is that they put a Facebook ads, they just let it go, and it just thinks that Facebook AI is gonna do everything. No, you have to have feedback loops with whoever runs your campaigns. So media buyers, agencies, consultants, whatever. There's gonna be different feedback loops that need to happen, and we like doing it every 2-3 days, where we actually talking about what's the quality, what's the conversation like, what's been the speed to lead follow-up mechanism that you use, how's the lead quality and conversation as a whole, so that we can always improve. And for example, irrelevant or generic messaging. So if you want to put ChatGPT to work on this, you can do it, but understand that you have to have the right elements in place, because you don't want to have a very generic messaging and look like every single person out there. And now your ad cost is going to rise. Now your cost per lead is going to rise. Your ad is not even going to be seen, or is not even going to be looked at. So whenever you use a messaging, make sure that you have a compelling ad copy and creative. And I'm gonna share with you guys a free swipe that you guys learn how to create a specific messaging and ad copy for free here. So you guys don't have the problem, or do you guys get better at it? One thing that you can miss on Facebook and Instagram is that you can miss not having a great follow-up and nurturing system. Someone was just talking about a CRM, and that someone was just about to get a CRM. If you don't have a system where you can quickly follow up with these leads with email, text message, whether it's calling as well, or even send a direct mail as well, and try to touch base or try to get this person as fast as possible. And even if you don't get the person right away, continuously following up and nurturing this person until they actually sell the house to you, you're gonna have a difficult time getting Facebook and Instagram ads work for you. You have to have a very great follow-up process in order to actually make it work. If you don't have a great sales process, let's forget about it. Like, you have to have a great sales process and a process that is measurable, so that once a lead is actually generated, someone is actually talking with this person, and there is a specific sales process that you actually follow, so that not only it's good for you to evaluate what's going on, but it's also good for your acquisition team to evaluate why is your acquisition team not closing deals from Facebook or Instagram. There's something in the sales process, all right? And what not to do with PPC. Using irrelevant keywords, or for example, going way too broad. A lot of agencies like going way too broad because it allows you to have lead volume, but that means that we have to have thousands of negative keywords, which means that we have to have a way to avoid people that are searching things like, I don't know, sell my car cash. And people are jumping into that ad and actually clicking onto that ad, but it's completely irrelevant to them. So if you don't have a relevant keyword strategy where it allows you to have the specific people coming in from PPC, then you're gonna spend a lot of ad spend and you're gonna waste a lot of clicks, specifically and especially if you don't have great negative keyword list. All right, so that's something that you need to be able to avoid. We're gonna give you the keywords and the ad groups, and as a matter of fact, I'm also gonna give you guys the negative keyword list, so you guys actually take advantage of it. If you guys are excited for that, drop me a 1. I want to know if people are actually awake, still awake here. I'm gonna give you guys literally almost everything that you guys need. All right, awesome. Lack of tracking and monitoring. So, look, guys, this is not only like, hey, what's my CPL? What's my CPL? What's my impressions? What's my reach? What's my CPM? It's not about just tracking those numbers, but it's actually tracking what's been your numbers on the sales process. So if you're not tracking your metrics and you're only tracking your Google PPC or Facebook ads metrics, then you're gonna come in and make wrong decisions, because probably you're spending $300, $400, $500 per lead. But if that lead, each one of those leads gets you closer to get one contract because you have great sales metrics, which means that you're getting on the phone quickly, you're getting to talk to them, you're actually having a great conversation, making it a quality conversation. You actually are following up with them. You actually are giving an offer. You actually are getting on the contract. So if you know how to, you track your metrics and you know how many leads you're actually getting in order to get one appointment, and how many of those appointments turn into a contract, then you're gonna have a better relationship with PPC, because it can get nerve-wracking, because PPC is going to eat your ad spend real fast. Okay, so it's a combination of you knowing your metrics, knowing your numbers, apart from just looking at the CPL and so on. All right. Overcomplicating ad text. We have to be very simple, direct with Google. We have to tell them exactly what we can do for them and how they can get it. So overcomplicated ad text is going to potentially eliminate the chances of getting a higher conversion. Neglect ad extensions. If you're not having call tracking, then you're missing out on that. If you're not having other type of, for example, if you're not having this type of extensions where it actually drags you to how it works, or get cash offer, which is, it takes more real estate, then you're missing out on actually getting more attention from them, right? Avoiding optimization. Look, the truth is that with Google PPC, if you're using an exact match or phrase match, you have to be able to optimize based on clicks, based on cost per click, and based on how things are going on a 3 days basis, 7 days basis, and you do optimizations. If you do broad match targeting, you have to be on top, because you need to optimize based on not only clicks, not only cost per click, but also the negative keywords that are coming in. So being on top of your campaign every single day, especially at the very beginning, but knowing that sometimes Google is not going to spend money in the first 1 or 2 weeks, it's important so you don't go crazy. So have an expectation that optimization is going to take time, especially in the very first time that you run and launch a PPC campaign. It's going to take time for Google to learn. If you don't have Instagram or IG in the mix, which means that you're running PPC ads. So for example, I'm going to give you guys an example. If my reliable home buyer is not running Facebook ads or Google or Instagram ads, when I click here, now I go to Facebook or Google. If they're not running a retargeting ad campaign, that means that they're missing on me seeing them on Facebook and on Instagram again. So if I'm on the fence, I can take some action. All right. So if you're running Google ads, make sure that you're also running Facebook and Instagram retargeting campaigns, which means that if I did not submit this form, I'm going to submit the form later on, because they're chasing me essentially on Facebook and on Instagram. All right. Common pitfalls for conversion, real quick here. So mistakes to convert, bad targeting from the very beginning. So if we have a bad targeting, if we don't know, like for example, a lot of people like to do broad stuff, right? A lot of people would like to go nationwide and statewide. But if you are not sure how to ultimately convert those deals or those leads that are in the nationwide campaign, you don't know how to dispose those deals, then you're going to suffer, because now you may be able to get them into a contract, but you not may be able to actually close those deals, right? So we need to be able to understand is who do we want to target, who is our buyers, where are our buyers, and who are the sellers that can connect with these buyers, or what type of fulfillment we can actually do so that ultimately we can target based on exactly that. A lot of people, for example, I had a client that just did JV agreements with different people. So he had like a multiple statewide campaign where he would JV with different people from those different areas, and he would now be able to make money out of different areas. But we've had also statewide or nationwide campaigns that people come in with the expectation that it's going to be a walk in the park and a piece of cake when they don't have the disposition process to target that specific way of sellers, all right? Weak budget. If you're not willing to spend on Facebook at least $60 a day or $70, $80 a day on some specific areas, such as $60 a day minimum in majority of the East Coast, except New York, Boston, New Jersey, and Miami, then if you don't have $60 a day, don't do it just yet, all right? Make sure that you have $60 a day for the next 4 months in order to compensate for the long sales cycles. And if you are in a very specific market like California, New York, Miami, different areas in the West Coast that is like high median home price, Utah, for example, then you have to put more ad spend. And on Google, if you're not doing $100 minimum, and in some cases $150 a day minimum, then don't even think about it. So you have to be able to have that budget, and we like to actually work with people that can spend $5,000 on Google at minimum, bare bones, at all the way to $10,000 a month on Google, because now they will understand, and they also have had cash flow for the next 4 to 6 months to compensate sales cycles. Mistakes to convert: poor landing pages. If you guys, landing pages is not easy to actually convert. So for example, this is a model from Open Door. If they don't have a number and a quick survey or form in order to capture that person's attention right in here on the phone or on desktop, then you're gonna have a hard time, because you're gonna be making a lot of leads fall through the crack, because you have your website with tons of different menus or tons of different options, and you want to avoid that as possible, especially with paid advertising, that people have a very short attention span, okay? Lack of trust building elements, which means that if you guys are running Facebook advertising or Google advertising, whether that's in your landing page or your advertising or your follow-up campaigns, your nurturing campaigns, you want to have third-party stories, you want to have testimonials, you want to have case studies, you want to have Google reviews. You want to send this to people because you want to create that trust element, right? So it's a very good exercise that once you close a deal, or before closing the deal, 1 or 2 days before title closes, to always ask your sellers about a Google review and a testimonial. You can walk them to your office and tell them, hey, I got something for you, and we're gonna close. I'd love to have your testimonial. I'd love to have your case study. Do a quick interview how I was able to help you. So you compile testimonials, so you're able to put them into your landing pages, into your email follow-up campaigns, nurturing campaigns, and so on. And this is going to elevate the trust that potential sellers will have, not only in the first few days as the seller is generated, but further down the line. If you don't have a good follow-up, you're gonna suffer a lot. Like, this is going to be one of the biggest things that people actually miss out on, because not everyone, first of all, will pick up the phone right away. You're going to have people, you're going to find people that are in their bathroom submitting a form, people that are, I don't know, in the car, in traffic. You don't know what's going on with these people. Maybe they're just in a distress situation, they're at work, whatever. But if you don't get them right there whenever they have their hands on their phone, then you're gonna have to have a better follow-up mechanism later down that day and that week in order to get them on the phone, and then continuously nurturing that relationship. So if you don't get people on the phone, then there's nothing that you really can do, because you're not going to be able to have quality conversations with them, right? And that's one of the biggest things that you need to be able to place, whether that's immediate follow-up, SMS, email, and drip sequences that you do. We actually have a CRM that helps us do it. It's based off high level, and it's a CRM that literally follows up with them until they reply, and once they reply, it sends us a signal, tells us that someone had replied, and moves it into a specific stage in the pipeline so that we know that the person has replied. And also there is a bot replying back telling them, hey, we're not here just now, but let's book an appointment in order to talk about this. If someone is there, then the acquisition manager or the closers will just call right away. If you have lead managers, make sure that they actually have a very effective, in a few seconds, I want to call it 20 seconds, 30 seconds follow-up as soon as the lead is generated. If they book an appointment, because you have in your sequence, your workflow, self-booking appointments, so the lead is generated, the lead is pre-qualified, and then they book an appointment based on your website. That's also great, but make sure that you still follow up with them. Still confirm that appointment. Talk to them. Ignoring lead nurturing. So lead nurturing is one of the biggest things how we actually generate business, because not everyone will be buying from you right away. So about 1 to 3% will do that. 1 to 3% will actually buy off your offer, which means that in this case, sell the property in the first instances that they actually talk with you. So if you don't have a great nurturing skill and nurturing system, you're missing out on now the follow-up that it creates, and missing out on also all the opportunities of that 97% of the leads that you're getting. So having a great lead nurturing system is actually great. All right. Thank you, Christine, for those kind words. Let's continue it. All right. I promise you guys, I'm almost done here. I'm going to give you guys the free stuff. Christine, if you want to grab the free stuff after this meeting, that would be great. But lead qualification. So what we see that are the most successful clients that we have is that they have a great sales process and lead qualification skills. So it's not only us asking on the survey different questions, but it's having a great, amazing experience in a phone call in order to go through the different things that we need to understand from the seller, and actually connect with the seller to understand where they are, their current situation, and where they want to be, and how we can actually help them, right? If we don't qualify them well, if we don't have a great discovery call, our lead managers or our follow-up specialists are not talking with them properly, then now we don't have enough information. They haven't connected with us very well. Their experience with us is like meh. So if you want to have make them have a great experience, lead qualification needs to be optimized through your sales team. And lack of data analytics. So if you don't know where you are and where you stand in terms of your Google, again, compared to your sales process and your sales metrics, then you're gonna make decisions based on a subjective way instead of understanding what's your sales conversion cycle. How long does it take to actually get an appointment? How long does it take to get a contract? How many leads does it take to get an appointment? How many leads does it take to get a contract? How many leads does it take to actually get a deal? And we see that, for instance, Facebook is about 12 to 15, sometimes higher in terms of how many leads it takes to get a deal, to get a contract, and on Google is a little bit lower, but still ranges within the 6 to 12 leads to get a contract. So if you don't know these numbers, for example, for your specific market and for your specific team and how you have your team actually build out, then you're gonna be making decisions based on subjective things. So you have to know how long is it gonna take you to actually close a deal, put it under contract, then from contract to close, make money, and now you can make decisions and criticize Google or criticize Facebook, because now you have the right expectations and how long it's going to take. All right. The other one is poor user experience. Remember that you guys are a business. You guys are a service business. One of the number one things that you have to do for your sellers and your buyers is the user experience, the user journey, which means that the customer journey. What happens after someone submits a form in Facebook and how you make them feel. How is the first emails, text messages, voicemails? How is the first conversation? After the first conversation, what do you do? How do you nurture them? What do you make them go through? Do you make them go through like credibility packages, seller testimonials? Do you make them go through great conversations over the phone? Do you actually fulfill their needs because you don't rely on cash offer and actually give them different options and how you can actually help them and follow up with them? Same thing for your cash buyers, right? So the user experience is going to be one of the biggest things that people miss out on. And handling these online leads. So this is big. Bad speed to lead follow-up. We talked about it a little bit previously, but a lot of clients that don't see success, or they give up way too easily, or people that actually are having a lot of success do very well is this: great speed to lead. So if you have a bad speed to lead, improve it. Right now, there's an opportunity to leverage technology, to leverage people, and to leverage media in order to improve your lead follow-up. If you don't have an amazing, how quick is bad speed to lead? If you're following up in 10 minutes, it's already bad. If you're following up in 1 hour, it's already bad. If you're following up in a few hours or a day, it's mega bad. So Facebook and Google and Instagram leads need to be given an attention in seconds, where people know that you're available there, and look, there is a chance that they will be targeted by another ad, or that your competitor actually follows up faster than you, which means that you now miss out on that boat, right? Why? Because now your competitor did a better job. So if you do 30-second follow-up, that's going to improve your chances ultimately over 300% on actually getting it on the phone, and then you go through the sales process and ultimately increases your conversion rate, right? So 30 seconds is something you should do. If you realistically can't do 30 seconds, keep it under 2 minutes, keep it under 30 minutes. All right, so we need to wrap up real fast, but these are the biggest mistakes to get leads into contracts. Avoiding having a real connection with the seller. Great sales process. Providing clear and transparent information, so don't be a shady wholesaler. Addressing objections and concerns before they ever come up. Demonstrating the values that you can fulfill with them. Following up structured sales process. This is huge. We work on conversion with our own team and our clients every single day. Bad at persisting with lead nurturing. So there is no such thing as a bad. There's no such thing as being too persistent or too perseverant in trying to get a hold of your people. You have to put effort into get a hold of your lead. You just got to do it right. Okay. Leveraging social proof and third-party stories, and failing to track and measure your KPIs. And I'm gonna give you guys this ad creative swipe file so that you guys actually use it. Here is a link to it real quick for everyone. And also the negative keyword list, but also all the keyword lists that we have and the ad groups that we utilize in order to set up our Google PPC campaigns. And Kent wanted me to give you guys my contact. Give me 1 second, right in here, which is right here. So if you guys like this, give me a fire emoji. That'll be great to see in here in the Zoom. It's just a few things that we saw our clients be successful in the last 3 years. So fire emoji, everyone, if you guys saw any type of value in here. Thank you, Mike Blair.
Good job, my man. You did great. I appreciate you showing up for our tribe and then pouring into everybody. Well done. I know it gets this is some somewhat technical, but at the end of the day, guys, 99% of your competition will not take the time to try to understand this and understand the value. And if you want to know more and you want to, reach out to Esteban, feel free to do that. And then make sure that you go and click those links because we're about to shut it down here in just a second. Grab those links, and if you've got somebody running PPC or you're doing it yourself, at least you've got something that you can tune in for, or that you can share with them. So, Esteban, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for, I know you normally do that over the course of a couple hours. I appreciate you compressing that down in about 45, 50 minutes. That was really powerful. And everyone else, I will see everyone next week on Wednesday, and we will have another boardroom member come out and pour into you guys.
Thank you so much.
Peace. Take care.
See ya. Take care. Bye-bye.